Well, it was an ugly day at the Dome. Fans just shaking their heads now in frustration and giving some very strong thoughts on what they think should happen next.
Now, the timing of this slide is far from ideal, too, for the Vikings organization, as they are hoping for a new stadium deal with the state. Everyone's been talking about that. Fox 9's Jeff Goldberg was at the Dome today and heard from some pretty fired-up fans. So, Jeff, they want it or don't want it?
Well, a lot of them saying they do want it, but first they have some pretty strong feelings about these two guys. A lot of them directing frustrations towards the quarterback and the coach, especially Brad Childress. But despite the disappointment, again, a lot of fans saying they do still hope the team gets a new stadium. So to hear about both the game and the future, we went straight to the source.
Sometimes it's just not always easy to get people to talk to you about a story. Trust me, I know.
Excuse me, ma'am. Got a question for you. Sir, how you doing? You're walking away.
But Sunday at the Dome...
Check.
No problem.
The reality is this team stopped today. They didn't play.
I'm heartbroken.
Man, we are just horrible.
Vikings, come on, today, seriously? Come on, Favre, we need a new quarterback.
Can't always get what you want.
Fire Childress. Fire Childress.
Fire Childress. Boo! Fire Childress. Get rid of Favre.
As Packer fans, we love Childress this season.
Fire him.
Pagey and Tony Dungy. Does anybody know what Ditka's doing these days?
That's what I think you, Childress.
I went to grade school with Maury Glover.
Fire Chili! Woo!
Well, we've got some pretty clear ideas about how people feel about the team and about the coach, but another looming question is, should the performance on the field, on the road, and inside this building impact what happens inside this building? As the 2011 legislature is going to have to deal with the issue of a new Viking stadium in one way or another.
So once again, we turn to those with a lot to say.
Does the team deserve a new stadium? Not after that performance.
Yes, I think we still deserve a new stadium.
Yeah, for sure. This is just a little bit too small.
New stadium? Wow, who can afford it?
I think the Vikings absolutely need a new stadium.
We got a couple other things we need to get done before that.
New stadium, new coach.
Next year. Got it? Cut.
I think our Maury Glover with a few more fans than Brad Childress. And sorry about that handwriting on the whiteboard. It's a little bit ugly. So moving on, the Vikings, their lease is up at the Dome after next season. So what is going to happen with the stadium during this coming legislative session could really determine the team's future in the state. Today, we got a comment from Vikings spokesman Lester Bagley, who's going to be spending a whole lot of time at the Capitol in 2011. Bagley saying, quote, "We are disappointed with our record, but this team is extremely important to the state. With just 10 games left at the Dome, we have to move the stadium issue forward." Now here's what Mark Dayton and Tom Emmer, one of whom will be governor, had to say about this issue during the campaign.
If all those economic benefits are greater than Minnesota than the cost, then yes, it's a good deal for Minnesota, and I'd support it. And I roll up my sleeves as governor because of all those jobs to make it a good deal for Minnesota.
And I believe the Vikings will have a stadium. And why? I don't think it'll be paid for out of general fund tax revenues. No, not at all. But I think there's ways for the governor, for the legislature to empower and facilitate local authorities to get the deal done.
And finding a local partner for a stadium could be a big part of this plan. We're likely going to hear about Racino or maybe a user tax for tickets or merchandising, possibly a lodging tax. Many ideas are likely going to be floated at the Capitol next year. Of course, whether any of them lead to a stadium deal, we're just going to have to wait and see. Heidi, back to you.